and Sharon for Whedon Universe event. So please welcome to the stage wonderful stars of Firefly and Serenity, Ron Glass and Adam Baldwin.
Hey y'all.
Hey. Yeah, live. All right.
How y'all doing? This is the last day at DragonCon as everybody's sort of big boisterous now. So you're liquored up already? What we talk about today that we haven't already covered. We answer a lot of questions. If we get repeat questions from the day before, we're just going to say we already answered it all line. No, we'll try to keep it one phrase.
All right, before we get started, right in here in the middle, we're going to start a line for Q&A. So if you have questions for Adam or Ron, we would love to hear from you.
Do you have any questions?
I always do, but I want them to be able to line up. So if we can have that.
I know, I was just trying to say that we can read that over my head. You and I.
We have discourse. if you will.
Ron? Do I have anything to add? How was your experience at DragonCon this year, Ben? Fantastic.
You know what, I have a request. Some of you probably heard this before, but if you don't mind, in about 5 minutes, if you can take all the pictures that you would like. And then after that, if you would stop with the cameras, it would really be great. Part of the reason for that, most of the reason for that is because there's a picture that floats around out there in that cyberspace that I don't participate in. But I've heard about this picture that has what I rate. That's exactly how I feel about it. There's this picture of my face, and I'm like, oh no. But just like that, just like what I just did, somebody has like had you know what, I don't know.
Well, it's also nice to have a friendly person in front of you, not have that phone up there. It's distracting, it's a light focal point be wrong.
That's kind of a big deal.
I went to a concert the other day, and that's all they would do, just hold it up. Freaking yes concert, hold it up. Just look at it.
So is the question, your question? What pretty hair?
Short for this mic. Hi. Hi, my question's for Adam.
Yes.
So I'm a fight combatant and stage choreographer, and I was wondering, on Firefly, did you do a lot of your own fighting, and what was the process like of learning the fights?
I would say about 75% I would get to do it, and the really rough and tumble stuff, where there was a potential that I would get hurt and it would shut down production, they would bring in public stuff. And he was really good. He actually got clocked a couple times, and there was one time where Bubba, he hit his head and he had this concussion. And we had to take it first to the studio lot nurse and have it checked out. And all the way there, I don't know if any of you have ever been with somebody who's had a concussion or you've ever had one yourself. Okay. So you tend to repeat yourself. So Noah was like, "Did I do the stunt? Yeah, he did the stunt. Oh, good. Did Adam like it? Yeah. Oh, did I do the stunt? Weird case of concussion. And that was on the, that particular one was on, I think it was trash. Yeah, definitely trash. We're on the two crafts and we're getting the hang on the run and we had a safety line and a pick line, and one of the pick lines was supposed to kick him over, but his foot got tangled, and instead of getting pulled back and when it was tumbling, his foot got caught, so the pick line pulled it back, but his foot was caught, so his head just went just like, oh, it sounded like a coconut. He's okay now. Anyway, so yeah, I would say about 75, 25.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
There was a really pretty nurse.
That's Hollywood.
A bunch of guys are standing around trying to figure out how to fake concussion.
Am I with the nurse? Does she like me?
Next.
Who's next?
Hello, for Adam, what do you think of the fact that your line, "I'll be my bunk," has become an internet meme, basically? And for both of you, what lines do you think would be your character's catchphrases?
I'll be in my body as a euphemism. Well, I have some answers for everyone. I don't have any answers at all. So, catchphrase line? What would yours be?
Well, I'd also like you to know that I've also reserved a special place for you in a special hell.
What would your catchphrase be? Do you have a favorite line from the show?
A lot of them, but one of them, one that a lot of people are not really familiar with, because I only said it once, and it was when Mal kept asking me, we were standing at the top of that thing in Serenity, Mal kept asking me telling me about how I had to tell him what my backstory was and how, it just wasn't right for me to go to the back. Well, you gotta tell it, and I just simply said, no, I don't.
So mine would be, I guess, shiny, let's be bad. I said this in the other panel, if I had an epitaph in my real life. Christopher Walken's, I heard James Lipton's was, he was right. Great. And I forgot what mine was.
Well, in the meantime, one of the things that I really loved about the book is that he was obviously a man of cloth and everything, but he would also kick your ass. And one of the manifestations of that was, I think it was actually Jay who said who said, well, we were getting ready to go do some shooting and stuff, and he says to me, well, preacher, what are you doing with that book? Does the Bible say something against killing? I said, yes, but the Bible is also like fuzzy on the subject of the kneecaps. You don't get to use that a lot in data conversation.
The special element translates though, it's data competition.
Next.
So, a question for both of you. If you could have any other role in a Joss Whedon production, which would it be and why?
I can't say Marcus Hamilton, can
How about Katie? Except
water.
I mean, it's a perfect dress. I think he wants the dress.
partially because I like strawberries too.
That's a euphemism. Spike. A lot of that has to do with the way the character is portrayed by James Marsters, who's a dear friend, terrific actor, wonderful. So, because he eats strawberries.
Strawberries.
He does well with the language.
I kind of like, one of the things I really like about Wash is he gets to hang out a lot with Gina. That'd be fun. Except, he's very whipped. It's sort of powerless and painless. Yeah, but what a way to go. Okay.
I think I can speak for everybody here. We miss Firefly a lot. My girlfriend and I were very, very annoyed recently with the April Fool's joke of it coming back. So thanks for that, whatever idea that was. This question is for Adam. Also, thank you very much for Last Ship. Absolutely love it. It's my favorite show this year. So thank you for that show. Awesome. What's it like being conservative in such a very liberal profession that you're in? You know, I'm a conservative myself, so I can imagine what difficulties you must be having to deal with every day just in conversations.
This is America, man. See? America. And I think pretty much wherever you go, there are folks who are of all different persuasions, and I'm a firm believer in varying viewpoints, and I'm open and accepting of most all of them. I subscribe to the U.S. Constitution, and that's
I know where it's at. Thank you.
Should I come back when this is over? What a scare.
First, I want to say you both are fantastic and awesome and great actors. And second, how did you feel when you found out Walsh was going to die in the movie? Like, how did that affect you?
You mean when he died at the end of the movie?
Yes. Well, Shepard Book dying was very emotional, too.
I didn't have a problem with it. I was already gone.
when you found out about it, that it was going to happen?
I was sad to see somebody go. What a heart.
All right.
It's kind of down though.
Yeah. Oh, thank you.
Hi, this is for Mr. Glass. I was wondering, since you're on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and bit parts, is it different coming on like a guest star role in a Whedon production rather than being a main character in a Whedon production?
Actually, I've been like a regular on so many different shows that I have a really hard time being a guest. Because you get accustomed to going into, when you're regular on a show, it's like going home. It's like everybody knows everybody, and everybody knows what whether they should speak to you before or after coffee. Everybody kind of, knows how loud or not the music should be. But then, and then also you kind of like don't know what the pecking order is, and so you don't know. Anyway, it's uncomfortable for me. But I really, really enjoyed being with Joss and with all those really, really terrific people who are on S.H.I.E.L.D. And so, fortunately, it was worth going through the discomfort of being a guest because I got to do such a wonderful thing there with Greg Clark. Greg Anyway, it was fun, and I'd like to do more of it.
Thank you.
I have a addendum to guest acting. What's important is when you are working as a regular on a show, is to be as kind and welcoming to the guest actors as you can be, and to uplift them and support them, because you want them to do well. Guest actors have a lot of pressure on them, generally have any kind of a background. They're coming in to play either a villain, or they're coming in to play a big sport. They've got a lot of work to do, and they're in this sort of uncomfortable, not their home environment. They want to do well, a lot of pressure on them, so I go out of my way to welcome them, love them, read lines to them, and to help build them up and support them up, because you never know when you're going to be that guy on another set. So I think it's an important spiritual thing to energetic
Pay it forward.
pay it forward. Yes. Mr. Carter.
Wait.
Thank you both for coming. My question is for Mr. Bias. You mentioned in the special features on Firefly that you had avoided science fiction roles for most of your career. What brought you to Firefly, and what has the experience been now that you're doing roles in science fiction, both as a performer and also being out in the community as science fiction fans?
Well, originally I resisted doing science fiction parts because of the prosthetics. I just didn't want to spending a lot of time getting involved. But actually also, it's hard enough trying to break into, Hollywood. And so I didn't want my face to be covered. I didn't want to be like this unrecognizable sort of, thing, in a science fiction role. And then later on, I didn't want to be spending all the time in makeup and all that kind of stuff. So I did that one episode on Nightingale in Voyager, and all it was ears, and just a little thing right here, and it took 3 hours. So I had to be a in order to get the makeup and stuff on. So anyway, that took 3 hours to take it on, and believe it or not, it takes an hour and a half to take it off. So, cue the baby. no prosthetics for me. And I also, the whole show was really more about the human qualities of these characters. And it was really a character-driven kind of thing. It really had to be, a person. And so, and when I read the script, I just went crazy because I loved what I read, in particularly, Bo, fortunately, that was my favorite character when I read it. And so it was a no-brainer for me. I just really wanted to explore, how can we really bring this character to life, which I got to do briefly.
Thank you.
I was just going to say that Joss mentioned that a couple years ago at Comic-Con, our 10th anniversary reading, that we asked to do it more, re-up it, blah, 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 reboot. And he said, well, I'm not sure, you're worried to screw it up. And it sits there kind of like this shining.
Yeah.
It's kind of a beautiful thing. And Ron's book is, if not Jane, his book is my favorite character. So, I love it. Or
We should switch up. Maybe switched up.
What do you mean?
What if I played Jane? I'd be a little shorter, but hey. And you can play book.
Would you kill a man in a fight?
Yeah.
In a fair fight? Would you make it fair? I better go for any cat. I like it. I like this. Yeah. I would have to better, deeper, or this, that's the train. Read scripture, nice, and
You really talk that slow?
I would call it a football. Yes, sir.
First, I wanted to thank you so much for coming back to DragonCon and sharing your stories with us. My question for both of you, if there's anything you could change about your character, what would it be and why?
Well, that's really simple for me. And again, one of my favorite things about Kaylee, I think she said something like, to hell with this, I want to live.
Oh, I remember when I had that. He was sniper fun. Sniper fun. I don't know if that'll pass the life of kids. What do I think about my character? I don't know. Who's great? Good thing that no one else can do
Yeah.
Maybe you can fly the ship once. Jane would be the guy that's pulling it out of the mouth and scrapes it. Yeah, like Star Trek, that other thing. Took them a lot longer to get a movie on the air.
Have any of you guys read A Shepherd's Tale?
Yeah!
There are a couple of scenes in there that I'd like to play.
Yeah.
So, clearly those of you who haven't read it When you do, you'll know what I'm talking about.
Do those things have to do with hurting a knee, or?
They have to do with strawberries.
No. About time you had some strawberries. You get stretched up in the face. Strawberries.
That's actually kind of a lead into my question.
Okay, let me start now. No, I don't.
Can we have strawberries in your bunk? No, if you, I'm sure this has been asked ad nauseum, but if Firefly had gotten to go on for 2 or 3 or even 5 more seasons, is there a particular way you would have liked to have seen your character go? Some sort of character development you would have liked to have seen happen? Aside from strawberries for book.
Well, I mean, I don't want to get stuck on this theme, but I maybe might have liked to have experienced what it would be like to have been married.
You're not a grandpa.
You know what I'm talking about?
Louis is free now.
Didn't seem to work out too well for Mal.
Louis is free now.
So if you have you ever met Lawrence Fishburne? I was about to say for the most part.
When we were canceled, the night of, they shut down production, and Lawrence came to the set and said, "We're going to Grand Manor, we're supposed to start, you guys drive, let's go." So he was kind of just soup us up and put us around our sorrows that night. Nice. Great car, too. Great car.
What do you drive?
It's one of those push-button cars, it's fancy.
Oh, I thought maybe it was Crown Vic.
England. James Bond type car. Aston Martin.
Okay.
I just rambled till I got off.
Say stop now.
Go!
Love both of your work, fantastic job. My question is, Mr. Baldwin, when are we going to see you on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.?
I'm on a show right now. If there's an opening, then I'd be happy to jump aboard, but I think I'm precluded from that since the last ship was picked up for season 2.
Thank you.
Mr. Glass doesn't know the answer to that question either.
We're riding Clark. We're riding Clark.
I don't know when I'm going back.
Oh, you've already done that. You didn't call me and tell me to go.
Very good, very good.
What's next? Careful. Word of the mood.
I heard that on the mystical internet
that you were all briefly brought together to do voice acting on a Firefly MMO video game or whatever. My question first is, if you guys all got to My question was, do you enjoy that people are keep trying to, in every way possible, thrust you back into those original roles? Or are you ready, as you were talking about the city on the hill thing, are you ready to kind of put the roles to rest?
I thought it was a no-brainer as an animated series for, it just doesn't work. I thought it'd be a no-brainer as an animated series for, certainly as a video game, so I'm glad that they have that Firefly Online thing. I haven't played it, I'm not much of a gamer, so I know of it, and we did some voices for it, I know they want to do some more voices for it, and we'll see. Hopefully, we can have, let's see. He's called Gandalf the White. How would I apply that to the White doesn't work. The mystical, the ethereal, the Book the Holy.
Book the Holy.
There you go.
Well, for your information, I did it too. I did, and it was fun. The only thing, one of the things that's hard about doing any kind of voiceover work for me is because it's difficult, because I forget that there's no camera. And so I do all kinds of stuff with my face and my hands and all kinds of stuff, and none of that is recorded. So you have to learn how to be reminded how to incorporate all those gestures and facial expressions and all that just in your voice. So it's a great challenge, and also it's a lot of fun.
They did that role where you were in the voice?
What's that?
You know, where they had a camera like in the booth, and they shoot, you were dancing together, doing sort of like behind the scenes stuff.
I don't know.
Maybe they haven't hit the cameras, so it's kind of dark.
So, it's going to explain a lot, isn't it?
So in Firefly, the first episode was pretty dark, a little more dour than the rest. And then when the movie came out, that was kind of a return to the original idea of the darker universe, whereas it was happy, a lot more joking in the middle. Is there a noticeable difference when you guys are working on those? Do you like one or the other style of show better? Did you like Firefly better one way or the other? And what flavor is that candy? I'll take those.
Strawberry.
The darker one in the pilot in the movie, and then
One of the things that I really like about all of it, you know, the Firefly incident, is that the light side or the ironic side is kind of like happens almost simultaneously, you know, with the serious side or the dark side of the, you know, I mean, even sometimes using humor in order to communicate a very, very serious point. So I except for, you know, except for the end of Serenity, that was always my kind of experience with both shows, is that, you know, this kind of combination of the two. So I never really got to make that kind of cut and dry distinction.
I thought it was a very good balance. I like the funny, the dark humor started playing. I think one of the lines that embodies that, I guess, is one of Cat and Mouse line. Where he goes, "Someone's trying to kill you, try to kill him right back." Dead serious, but it's hilarious. It's you know, gallows humor. I really like that. And Joss is a master.
all right, thank you.
Gentlemen, I want to say it's an honor to be in the same room with both of you. I love just about everything from Firefly, especially your characters. My question is, as far as your roles go, how much of yourselves did you put into your characters, and how much creative leeway were you given to shape each of your characters?
We had to be word perfect as far as Joss's. It was down to the comma and the accent or the
Very
It's nice to have somebody around who's had training. Yeah, it's too loud. Yeah.
Attack What's that question? I'd say about 60-40.
About 60-40? So about 60% of yourself, 40% of Joss Whedon?
Yeah.
The reality is that, you know, you cannot, as an actor, you can't play something that you don't have at your disposal. So however you get that is fair game. The talent and the trick is to use the right parts in the right places. And I'm through with that.
Different styles, there are different styles for people and they work. There's no one set way that works. Some people are very good at implementing the method. Some people are very naturalistic actors. Some people are very reactive and proactive. It just depends on, you know, what fits the personality and the role. So casting is really key. If you have a character like Book, he's very smart and just have a stature about him that Ron is perfect for. You're well trained and more freeform.
Well, you are highly trained, actually. Highly trained and very, very creative and very, very broad.
in rehearsals, I like to throw out as much over the top. I don't know if you recall, when I work on is you bring to the rehearsal just too much stuff to the scene, too over the top, too many props, too loud, too this, too much of an accent, and then you just start paring it back so that you're sort of liberated to find the things that work and key in on those. It's tough to do that in a television environment because time is money. You really have to find it quickly, and there's not a lot of rehearsal time. You know, a couple walkthroughs, a couple read-throughs, and go. We got to shoot this, so. And especially as a guest actor, you really have to load in a lot of things. You know, you got to get together with the prop guy and the wardrobe guy, make sure your lady guy, whatever it is, who has the clothes and the props, so that you can come into your place. A friend of mine was doing a guest spot on a show, and he had a cubicle. The scene was set in the cubicle. I said, you get there early, you get with that prop guy, you make sure you've got things that mean something to you in that place, so that you'll feel comfortable.
I did a show recently where I was a guest on the show, and my scene was with two of the stars, the principals of the show. And one of the stars had never seen me in the scene before, and so when we were blocking it and they were setting the cameras and the shots and everything, the first time we went through it, we said their lines. I said mine, and I was looking at various places to focus on. And when the scene was over, one of the stars said, hold on a second. He asked the director to come out, and he said, well, if that's how he's going to play it, we don't need him to be here. And I was like, oh, shit! I was like, but what it turned out is that what the guy really wanted was, he didn't want me to change anything that I was doing. What he wanted to change how the scene was written, so that the participation, at least, verbally, was more, what he felt like was more equal in terms of what was going on in the scene. But that's a perfect example of, when you're a guest on a show, you don't know what the pecking order is, you don't know the people, you don't know. I mean, he could have, he just said, if that's how he's going to do it, we don't need to be here. And then they write it and they change it differently so that everybody ends up happy. Or he could be one of the guys, he might just start grabbing people or something, I don't know. So, anyway.
I know that is not a nice man. But then, yeah, that goes back to being, having a welcoming atmosphere for your guests. Right? The scene's not doing well, it's not doing well. You have to be able to tweak it, especially if you're regular, you have more power. As guests, you really don't. You can change a little bit, maybe. You need to be ready to adapt.
He was very, very careful to say, no, man. Hey, what you do is
no, I'm sure he was dialed in. He's probably like, I want more glory in this scene. Yeah.
Or at least impact.
Yeah, impact. Yes, that's what I'm seeing. I kind of, my instinct is to go against that because I'm on the show for the run, I'm a regular, that let's let this guy have it. Let's help him, elevate him, or whoever the guest is. Good. There's a 10-minute card in the back in 10 minutes.
But what I want to say is that I love that attitude you have about being able to just get it all out, just get it all out. And that actually, in a certain kind of way, is one of the greatest, most wonderful benefits of being a regular on a show, is that you get to feel that way. Because a guest coming in feeling like that is just like, is usually not going to be able to express that, at least not on the
right. And also, I have the benefit of being some large person on the set, a lot of space, and
And off.
It gets loud on set because there's a lot of people doing a lot of different jobs, and to get that creative atmosphere for the guests, you need to settle down, be quiet, and especially when on the TV show, I'm in a uniform, and I'm looking like I'm a commander. I can say, yeah, I can bark it out, but you have to save your ammunition when to do that, especially as an actor, because you don't want to create tension among the creative juices and the actors, because then it's people second guess themselves, fear starts coming in, and you don't want that. You want to keep it as uplifting as you can. So generally, you want to make the first take easy, the bad guy. Let him yell. It's just his job. Like, quiet, shut up, get out. Could have said, oh, I didn't be that bad guy. But over time, these things sort of fall by the wayside if you're in a crunch situation. And that can be toxic for a guest actor. So if that's happening and I'm around, that's not. So that they can find that elevation of the play.
Also, there are lots of, people have different processes that they go through. And some people can, tell jokes and play and carry on all kinds of stuff, blah, 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 blah. Somebody says action, and they go right into a whole other kind of thing. And for them, that works really, really well. For me, I tend, because of the way I was trained, whatever, I actually tend to be the kind of guy that I like to be kind of quiet and kind of go through what I'm gonna, be present and all that kind of stuff. And then when it's time, they just kind of walk into it. And so it's wonderful, though, for me, it was really, really wonderful on our set of Firefly, is that I learned how to do what I needed to do without trying to stop other people from doing what they needed to do. And so I think it tended out to work out perfectly.
And then really going as far as you get into further episodes where you're familiar with everybody, then you just know what their patterns are. Just get out of their way. But I'm the same way. I like to listen to loud music, so until I was told, hey, the loud music is fucking shit. Yeah, the loud. Forgive my French.
What they came back and told me was he said, get over it.
Years ago.
Alright, well, my question is again for both of you. I kind of see your characters as being a bit of foils to each other. You being like...
Not unlike this.
But you're seen all the time hanging out together, especially when the workout bench. And I was wondering more about your relationship because your personalities are very different. So I was wondering.
Where are you going?
I'm going. You guys seem to have a friendship despite all of that, and I want to know what you guys thought on your relationship with each other was.
What brought you two together?
Well, I think Jane looked up the book. There was really recall any confrontation that Jane ever pulled against the book. There was a respectful sort of distrust, but never really blatant, challenge or
He didn't let you kill the agent.
disrespect.
He didn't let you kill the agent in the pilot, though. He stood in your way.
Oh, yeah. That was a quote. That was standard practice. Oh, I wanted to cut that guy.
Over time, one of the things that I was really the show, the Firefly show, is that I felt like the awareness of each other was really, really starting to grow, and that what each other had to offer the other was really fun. I mean, it was fun, and I thought that it also enriched each one of both characters, and just the way, I thought it was really brilliant in a certain kind of way that the way that relationship started to unfold was actually, you know, around the workout bench. I mean, I thought it was really, really great.
Well, yeah, it was macho, and I was looking for his wisdom, and I thought that this is somebody that I fear.
But it's also, it was like meeting you on your ground, and trying to make what I had to offer you more palatable by being able to, you know, participate in your territory. So, you know,
Yeah, it sort of unfolded after Jane. I just thought I'd play with it. You know, I think the top of his head or air when the food was there. Not necessarily as a devout expression of religion, but as sort of a vestigial respect for just gratefulness, and he was leading the way on that, and I was just trying to mirror that. I thought, well, it's really against character, and I thought, oh, can I try that, Johnson? And sounds good. As long as it's not over the top. You know, the first time I did it, was that too much? And that was all leading to the point where I had the hat, and I was able to take it off of the message funeral.
I have a director who used to, when I would be in scenes and would be doing stuff that was so over the top, when he used to do all the time, he would just say, Ronnie.
Supposedly, Firefly is based off of two sources, God of War role-playing game and the Outlaw Star anime. How far back did y'all get to see the script? Like, how close to the source material did y'all get to look at?
What is he talking about?
I was under the impression that one of Joss's main inspirations for the movie Stagecoach, and that he wanted to have the classic western with John Wayne and John Kerry, among others, and that this was an upgraded version of that. But as far as deep into the lore, I have to read it.
You guys always know more about this stuff.
I just want to thank both of you so much for coming this weekend. We really appreciate you, like not only coming to panels, but being here and talking to people all weekend. It's a lot of work, and we just love having you here. Thank you so much.
That was DragonCon.